Hello, my name's Dave Briskie. Welcome to this segment of Briskie Business. And this is going to be a really cool episode. I've got a great guest again. I've been so fortunate with the guests that have joined our program. Thanks again for making us a part of your day. You can continue to ask your questions. Like we say, this is your program, and you can write me at briskiebusiness@entvUSA.com, and we'll keep tailoring this program to your interests. If you missed a segment, you always can go back to the ENTV USA app, and all of the shows are living there on the app. As you know, the program is broken down into 4 segments: Brisk Business Basics, Brisk's Buy or Bail, Brisk Bulls and Bears, and Brisk's Best and Brightest, which is a segment about mentorship. So this is going to be a very, very exciting program. We have an incredible gentleman with us. He got started in the coffee business, and many of you know coffee is near and dear to my heart. And he actually started as a coffee clerk at the Green Coffee Association, which was supposed to be just a summer job, but apparently it was some type of foreshadowing for his entire career. His goal at the Green Coffee Association as a very, very young man was to kind of make it through the summer and into September so that he can move to Houston and start his real job as a geology intern for Phillips Petroleum. Wearing jeans and exploring the Philippines or Alaska for oil versus sitting there on Wall Street with those stuffy suits. And so that's where he was heading. But in the early 80s, the coffee industry was booming, and this man was hooked. And so he started working at Gill & Duffus Group, one of England's largest and oldest commodity trading companies, and was immediately thrown into the trading desk before even knowing what the H stood for in March. 5 years later, he joined as a trader wearing a suit and tie, 1 block from Wall Street, and then he joined Rothfos Corporation. And Rothfos, he joined in 1993, and it was the year after that company was founded. And believe it or not, he became CEO of this company in 2008. It's been quite a journey for this gentleman, from making sure at the Green Coffee Association that stamps were in the stamp machine, all the way to running the largest green coffee importing company in North America. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome Dan Dwyer, the CEO of Rothfos Corporation, to Briskie Business. Dan, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dave. Great to be here.
It's great to have you. As I said, the first instance of the program is Business Basics. And I love your story because, to me, this is stuff that's not happening in our world enough like it used to. My dad was with the same company he started from his whole life. And my brother Doug has been with his company for almost 30 years. And you have an incredible story where you started with a company like Rothfos Corporation in 1993. Not your company, but as an employee. And 15 years later, in 2008, you're the CEO of this company and still working there 27 years later. Incredible. I love the loyalty, and I love that you could start there. And I'm so curious about your journey, because we have listeners that are wondering, how do you thrive in a job? You started there, and tell us about that climb up the corporate ladder for you.
Well, I'll tell you, just to jump back 1 second, I never wanted to be in coffee in my life. My father worked for Kraft Foods. He was an engineer, and they helped start Maxim, the instant coffee. He wanted to take the family, move to Brazil and all that. My mother would have nothing part of it, and I had nothing to do with coffee. And here I am 30 years later in coffee.
It's the way it goes sometimes.
It's the way it goes. The way it goes. I really wanted to be in the Philippines and not wear a suit, and then we were wearing a suit 10 years later.
Well, there you go. What do you think were the things or tips that you can give folks? I mean, obviously, how did you start? What was your first position at Rothfos, and how did you accelerate to the position of CEO? Tell us about that path a little bit.
All right. When I started at Rothfos, I was more in sales than in trade. And okay, you had a lot of personality to be in sales, as you know, Dave. But coffee is a real personal business. I mean, in the other commodities, you have gold, you have silver, you have oil. You don't touch the product, you don't taste the product. There's nothing special about it. But coffee is completely different. You just love the product itself. I can remember being at a warehouse on one of my first trips, and all the origin guys were there, and every once in a while they're putting green coffee beans in their mouth. And I said, are they tasting it? What's going on? Is there something wrong with it? The guy said, no, it's coffee. That's what we do. But at Rothfos Corporation, I started in sales and then slowly gravitated towards the trade side. And on the trade side, you had to pick an origin. Originally, I handled the India as an origin. I moved to Indonesia. I traded the Brazil book. I traded the Colombian book, and then later the Vietnam book. All special origins, unique in how their dynamics to the market, and each one was fascinating.
So, your company, the story is amazing, right? Because you were there a year after it started.
Yes.
And I'm sure those that are listening in would be curious over this 27 years where your market position is now, which is a key thing, right, in running a company, knowing where you are in your market. Tell us a little bit about what you've achieved over this time and what kind of market share you guys command.
Okay, well, early in the commodity markets, you had these funds come in, buy the market, all technical signals, bells and whistles. What we did at the Neumann Group and Rothfos Corporations, we looked at supply and demand. If we have too much coffee, simple, market goes down. If we don't have enough coffee, market goes up. If you know your supply and demand, you could find a market space for yourself and be profitable. And that's what we've been doing. Invest a lot of money into supply and demand, and where the market is headed. Do we have droughts in Brazil? Is Colombia enough water, irrigation, things like that?
And what kind of market share do you guys have?
So we have a 10% market share. Roughly all of North America is about 29 million bags. And we sell 2.9 million bags, which is 1 out of every 10 cups of coffee that's consumed in this country passes through our office.
That is a massive amount of coffee and a massive operation.
Yes.
So tell us about the split. I know you know your business so well. I'm sure the coffee business has changed over the years. Where is coffee drank?
It's interesting because coffee was stagnant for so long. Consumption was up 0.5% a year, down 0.5% a year. Now we had Starbucks come in, and it was the greatest thing could happen to the whole coffee market. It introduced better quality coffees to the consumer, and that's taken since Starbucks. It's grown and grown and grown. So we used to have about 80% of coffee consumed at home. Now we have about 65%, and that 35% is spent at the Starbucks, the Dunkin' Donuts, the Tim Hortons, the 7-Elevens, all having a unique product and all a little bit different.
Well, obviously, you were able to drive that growth curve. And I think there wasn't that many key moments in coffee. I know you and I have discussed this. I would have to say that the advent of the K-Cup was another big moment.
That was huge. For 2 reasons. First, it was a fast way of delivery system for coffee because, we call American dashboard dining. And that was just perfect, fast. But it also did another thing. We lost the kitchen sink as a consumer. And we saw that there's a little bit of an oversupply of coffee because coffee delivery system was very efficient.
It makes a lot of sense, right? Is that one little tiny cup versus the whole pot that we were dumping down the sink.
Exactly. I know we said that we lost the kitchen sink as our biggest consumer. But right now, it's very interesting. This is let's say pre-COVID. The millennials love coffee. What do? They moved away from sugar, soda, and energy drinks, believe it or not. And they're moving into the coffee. That's they get their caffeine boost in cold brew or a hot drip coffee. But the millennials are adapting coffee more than the baby boomers had at the same age.
You know, I love the millennials for that reason. Obviously, we are in the coffee business, and that Gen X business that went straight into those energy drinks, right? The Monsters and all of those, the Red Bulls, and which is, you know, not very, very unhealthy, obviously. And we were all hearing, and I know you did too, this is the beginning of the demise of the coffee business. And then a new generation pops up, the millennials, and they're like, snub their nose to all this energy drink. They're a more healthy group, and all of a sudden, bam, the coffee business is on fire again. And it shifted, right, a little bit. They didn't want to drink their grandmother's coffee, did they?
That's it. We went from the can on the supermarket shelf to the little brick pack and bag that's on top of the shelf in the supermarket. And at the stores at all, $4 for a cup of coffee is no problem. $5 for a mochaccino, no problem.
That was interesting, right? They don't really want to drive fancy cars. They're not even so much in the housing as a group. But boy, oh boy, they like to spend on coffee.
Yeah, it's a great beverage. If you spend a few pennies more, you can get a really good cup of coffee.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And we're seeing it, right? The advent of the specialty coffee business that's really starting to grow in our country, right? Certified coffees, which we can get to a little bit more in another segment. And then the cold brew. I think that driven by the millennials as well?
It's totally by the millennials, and it's exploding. And there's not one coffee company that I know of that's not involved in cold brew. And even though if you start now, and you might be a little late to the market, there's a market space for you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Thank God for the millennials. It's really, really huge. You know, believe it or not, Dan, these segments whipped by, and I kind of told you that we would. I loved hearing about how you got started and the fact that you're CEO. And we're going to get to conclude this segment of Brisk Business Basics, and we're going to jump right back with Brisk Buy or Bail as we come back with Dan Dwyer.
We are Entv USA. Log on now and check out our live shows and subscribe. You don't want to miss this. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Linea Deportiva, a sports line. At 7 p.m., O Que Chisme, the best celebrity gossip show with Odi Abreu. At 8 p.m., Punto Final, another angle of news. 9 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, we have Alo Cortez with Tony Cortez. Tuesdays at 9 p.m., Dame Un Like. Thursdays, also at 9 p.m., De Noche con Roche. Fridays, 9 p.m., Mas con Mas with Raul Mascanosa. Every Wednesdays at 4 p.m., we've got Briskie Business with Dave Briskie. Followed by Inmigración en Fronteras with lawyer Irving Gonzalez at 5 p.m. This is our programming for Entv USA from right here in Miami for the rest of the world. Con una vista, basta. Show some love and give us a like.
Physical condition breaks down faster than your body can replace it. But now it's easy to give your body the healthy dose of collagen it needs with Collagen Creamer from Youngevity. It's a delicious vanilla-flavored coffee creamer that's packed with 7.5 grams of bovine-sourced collagen peptides. Youngevity's Collagen Creamer uses 2 types of collagen to better supply the protein needed to repair and strengthen the connective tissue in your body. It also supports healthy hair, skin, nails, and even bones. We've also formulated Collagen Creamer with MCT, healthy fats that the body is able to absorb and convert into an instant boost of energy. Add it to coffee or one of your other favorite beverages when you need it. Youngevity Collagen Creamer. Support for healthy connective tissue and more energy, all in a tasty vanilla-flavored creamer. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate. Paying attention to your overall health also means focusing on the command center of it all, your brain. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and the bombardment of pollutants and toxins can all diminish brain and neural functions. When was the last time you concentrated on your brain health? Synaptive by Longevity is a cutting-edge, unique brain support supplement that delivers powerful nutrients both immediately and throughout the day. Its anti-stress nutrients provide instant brain-boosting support that helps with mental focus and cognitive activity. To enhance your body's neuroprotection, Synaptive's full-spectrum antioxidant blend targets 6 major classes of free radicals that inhibit brain function. This powerful nutrient combination also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain. Synaptive, optimal antioxidant neuroprotection and support for a healthy brain. Now that's something to think about. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Stop the COVID-19. Maintain social distancing. The best way to prevent the sickness is to avoid exposure and to avoid exposing other people. Maintain a distance of 6 feet whenever possible and cover your nose and mouth with a handkerchief or mask when in public. Avoid hugs, handshakes, and big reunions as well as events indoors. For more information, please go to floridahealthcovid19.gov. This is a message from Entv USA for the community.
Welcome back to Briskie Business. This segment of the program is Brisk Buy or Bail, and it's all about the decision-making process. And I have a gentleman here today, Mr. Dan Dwyer, the CEO of Rothfos Corporation, who has to make decisions every minute of the day, obviously running a company that if you're drinking 10 cups of coffee, one of them came from him. So that is a pretty cool statistic. Dan, I'm going to start off with a sip of coffee here. And we're going to talk about coffee for a cause in this segment. And this coffee cup says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And we'll get to that a little bit later in the segment that we were talking about off mic. So, Dan, this segment is about the decision-making process. Everybody has their own process for making decisions. Obviously, after 27 years in the coffee business, I'm sure you have a process you go through, and it's probably secondhand at this point. But I'd like you to maybe focus on some of those pivotal decisions you might have made at Rothfos as the company was growing, maybe moves you made, and what you go through to make that decision. What is that decision-making process for you?
Okay. Well, in coffee, all origins, there's different values for coffee. So we're always gauging one origin or one country against another, what has better value to the end consumer. So price is very important. So if, say, Peru coffee is cheaper than Ecuadorian coffee, we know that Peru is more accepted into roasted plant, so we'll do an arbitrage between the two. But the major decisions that we've had at Rothfos Corporation is dealing with the speculators that enter the marketplace. They turn on their machines at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they trade. They could have thousands of lots as a speculation move. We're not speculators. We buy coffee from a farmer and we sell it to a roast. But we have to take the risk away from the farmer, take the risk away from the roaster to make sure we deliver coffee to the consumer at his price point. So our biggest challenge is always the speculators that come into the market. And we could put on option strategies to protect our producers and our roasters from the market volatility. Like today, for instance, the market's up 3 or 4 or 5 cents. Why? It's a macro move. All of a sudden, the dollar's cheap and the currencies are moving. Brazil real is expensive. It brings in commodity buyers. So we have to we're not only we coffee traders, we're currency traders and watching macro events. And I think that's the greatest part of the marketing trading that we've brought into our trade desk. is understanding the macros rather than just supply and demand of coffee.
Wow. So some things are related to other things, and you've got to make sure you're trading with a full-blown strategy. So
That's right.
how many trades are you guys making a day?
We could make 500 or 600 trades a day.
That's
and
incredible.
That's just to break even, just to balance ourselves. When we buy coffee from origin, we have to sell a futures lot against it, so we're flat on the day. And when we sell coffee, we have to buy a futures lot. So we're constantly buying and selling all day long.
You know, it's incredible. And I guess another word for that is hedging, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a component that a lot of business owners, they don't have to worry about that, right? They have a widget, the widget has a price, there's not much movement, and they just go. But you have to hedge all day long with your team. All
day long. And remember, the market for coffee opens at 4:15 in the morning and closes at 1:30. So we're staring at a screen from 4:15 in the morning to 1:30.
Well, we're lucky that you're awake right now then. Okay, Dan. So I know this is probably near and dear to your heart, but we're still on this topic of buy or bail decisions. But some time ago, you looked at an opportunity with a brand called Military Java Group, I think it is,
yes.
And you had to make a decision whether getting into some coffee with a cause made sense for your company. And I know where you ended up on that, but tell us what went in making that decision, and then tell us, why you said yes, and tell us a little bit about Military Java Group.
Okay, we'll do. First of all, it was a very close friend of mine that started the company. He was in coffee for 20 years, retired, financially well off. But he wanted to do something for the military. He came from a military family. His father was a Marine, and he always felt very close to the military. We got invited to a dinner party from fellow Marines, and there was some Marines there back from Afghanistan with their legs missing, their arms missing. And we said, wow, what do we do for these guys? So what happens is we decided to go in this one direction to give Coffee for a Cause, which is a Semper Fi fund. If you have a son or a daughter that gets hurt and loses an arm, loses a leg in Afghanistan, they come back to the States. Walter Reed Hospital is great. They take care of their physical needs. But what about the kid that's 21 years old that his wife in Seattle? Who's going to pay for that wife to come and stay with him by his bedside for 6 months, or his children? So the Semper Fi reaches out, they call it, and the ladies in red, and we take care of the families of the wounded soldiers. And when I go to these benefits and these cocktail parties, whether their faces are just beaming there. You can't believe how appreciative they are of this.
Dan, I'm really proud of you, and it's something that I know the millennials. It's interesting that the millennials have really helped the coffee business so much, and the reason why I bring them back up again is as a percentage of income. I don't know if you're aware of this, but millennials give more as a percentage of income to charity than any other group on our planet. Did you know that?
I didn't know, but it doesn't surprise me because they have a real different mindset. I always make a joke that I moved to Hoboken, which is the capital of millennial land. I'm the oldest person in Hoboken, and they're very appreciative of things. They're very. You meet them on the street, they can't do enough for you.
Yeah, it's really true, and I'm assuming you're this friend of yours, is it Matthew Phillips, the CEO
Matthew
of Military?
Phillips, yes.
Okay, so I got forwarded an email from him, and there's a quote at the bottom of his email, and it really kind of touched me. It's actually a Benjamin Franklin quote, and it said, "Democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting on what to have for lunch. Liberty is a well-armed lamb contesting the vote."
Yeah. It says it all, right?
That is so powerful. And,
yes.
Why not promote this coffee a little bit on this show? We're going to make sure we have their website information. But I love the names of the coffee, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's what, Jarhead Java?
Yeah, Jarhead slang for Marine. And they love the coffee. We're at the Navy bases, and we've rolled out to the Army.
And then they have Bravo Zulu Java.
Yes, the Air Force.
And then Stars and Stripes Java.
Right. Yeah, It's a little military family. We're doing great. Museums, you go any museum in the Army, it's there. And we're in all the PXs of all the military bases.
Now, is this coffee available for a consumer like you and I, or is it only in the military?
No, it's you can get it online.
So
and
they
that's
have
where our biggest sales are. Yes.
Okay, so they do have a .com site that you can buy
That's
this
right.
coffee, and if you do, I think it's 50% of the profits?
50% of the profits goes back to the Simplify Fund.
That's awesome. Do you have any idea what type of volume they're moving, or not really?
It's still, I wouldn't say that we're a startup. We're 3 years, but we're probably doing about 5,000 or 10,000 bags of coffee a year, which would put us a small roaster.
Right. Well, still, that's amazing. And is there different qualities in the different brands of types of coffee?
Yes, there is. It's a great question. The Marines, you got to love the variety. They wanted something really hard, really wake you up, really gutsy. So we burned their coffee a little bit more so they can wake up in the morning. But it's pretty much of a combination of very good Arabica coffee and mostly Colombian coffee.
Well, it's near and dear to our heart. I think you know our company. We also have a brand called Longevity Be the Change Coffee, and we do, it's not only military focused, but a lot of first responders. We give profits from the sales of coffee, and I'd like to see more people in this wonderful, given the size of the coffee business, the impact, we could have. And not only that, obviously, it helps people at origin and the whole nine. So we'll get into sustainability at a later segment. Dan, this wraps up this segment. I'm thrilled we got to talk about Military Java Group and what they're doing and the fine work and your involvement in that. So can you join me for the next segment?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be back with Dan Dwyer. This concludes this segment of Brisk Buyer Bail, and we'll be back in a moment. Are you looking for high entertainment and energy in your media? Download the ENTV USA app now. You're not going to want to miss what we got to offer. We are ENTV USA. Click and subscribe. Con una vista, basta.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Super Greens is a one-of-a-kind blend that's loaded with hard-to-find nutrient-dense superfoods. We've used what we've learned from our more than 20 years working with mineral-based nutrition to create one of the healthiest, plant-based nutritional products available. Each superfood was carefully selected so that it complements and enhances the others, helping to maximize Super Greens' nutritional power. Next, we added a specialized fermentation technique to increase the bioavailability of each superfood. Finally, we put in powerful probiotics and enzymes for added digestive support to give you jam-packed nutritional support. Longevity Super Greens, the highly alkalinizing super supplement that helps balance your body. It's the superfood-powered way to get more organic fruits and veggies in your day, all in just one scoop. Check with your Longevity distributor to learn more.
Antioxidants are essential to protect your cells against the damaging effects of free radicals. Puremeric by Longevity harnesses the power of nature to combat free radicals. by delivering a potent boost of antioxidants known for their incredible healing properties. Sourced from certified organic turmeric root, turmeric contains 95% curcuminoids, the active compounds that quash free radicals. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for thousands of years to promote both heart and brain health, as well as its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. We've also included a botanical blend of phytonutrients that include flavonoids, carotenoids, and sulfides. These natural, plant-based chemicals are powerful contributors to overall health and well-being. Turmeric, the organic antioxidant supplement from Longevity, formulated to promote optimal health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you have to look it or feel it. Immortalium by Longevity was developed to support your body's ability to age normally and healthfully. It's an advanced anti-aging supplement that combines the most effective essential nutrients in a cutting-edge, bi-layered and extended release tablet designed to support your telomere health and natural aging process. Telomeres are the biological clocks within your cells that form the protective ends of almost every chromosome in your body. Telomeres help prevent the chromosomes from deteriorating. The longer and healthier the telomeres in a cell, the greater the health and anti-aging benefits. Immortalium contains synergizing antioxidant enzymes and telomere health-promoting nutrients that are quickly absorbed to give your body time to break down the antioxidants and put them to work. Immortalium, advanced anti-aging support that can help fight the natural aging process. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Understanding your microbiome can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to Briskie Business. This segment of the program is Brisk Bulls and Bears, and this is a public market segment. And I love that we've got Dan Dwyer, the CEO from Rothfos Corporation, on the horn with us. Dan, this has been a great show. Thank you for being here with us.
You're welcome.
So this is going to be cool because this public market segment, everyone's thinking public markets. We get all types of advice. We get tips on different public companies. And I asked you off mic to tell me about how, do you invest in public companies? And you said no. And then you go, well, what are we going to talk about in the public market segment? And our listeners, this is going to be new for them because you very much are in the public markets. It's just you're in the commodity trading, which is also trading in the public markets. So why don't you tell us a little bit, in your mind, what makes commodity trading maybe different from trading in public companies?
Okay. Well, in commodities, it's supply and demand. And then it's the market, other market forces. So if we have too much coffee in the world, market should go down. But it doesn't all the time. And why is that? Because we have macro things happening. A cheap dollar, for instance, as I mentioned. Coffee may go up because cocoa and sugar are up that day, and these fund managers decide to buy a basket of commodities. Same way on an index. You may lose money in an individual stock, but if you're in a basket, you're okay. So you mentioned that I don't trade public companies. And I look at the stock market a lot like coffee. And when we had the COVID came in, I said, how could the economy recover or stay strong when business is shutting down, People are working at home. Mass transit has come to a standstill. Cities are not going to pay their taxes and bills. So the COVID scared me as far as the stock market, but I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's sometimes super unpredictable. So in your personal life, though, are you, for your own investments, are you in the commodities trading end of business?
I don't trade commodities for my own personal wealth. Why is that? Because I'm trading it for the company, and that's enough risk one could take in life. I think if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong twice.
I hear you.
For myself and my company.
So tell me, obviously this commodity trading is major for you and in your company, yes. And you've got traders. Tell me about some of the big wins or the big swings or some of the excitement that have happened in commodity trading.
1980s, the coffee market was 44 cents a pound. Cost of production was $1. So how could coffee trade at 44 cents a pound with a cost of production at $1? Well, it did. And people were bearish at 44 cents. Sure enough, the market rallied soon after that. In 2011, market went to $3. Whenever you have these moves like to a $3 market or 44 cents, everybody's bullish at the top and everybody's always bearish at the bottom. And I love the fact that we have that volatility, is that we understand volatility for the last 25 years, but we trade against the volatility.
If you're not prepared for that volatility, what type of liquidity problems does this create for other companies, and how do you manage that? And is it an opportunity, or is it?
It certainly is an opportunity, Dave. The value that we have working for Rothfos Corporation, owned by the Neumann family, we're only in coffee. So we understand our product, we understand it pretty well. We're the largest coffee trader. With that, we have a consortium of banks that will finance us. We love with the volatility in the market because we can handle our liquidity. We don't have to worry about the market going up and being squeezed out of the market because we can't meet margin calls. So we love a $3 market because it pushes us ahead of the field.
I think you're one of the few companies that could sustain a $3 market, actually.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
The barrier to coffee has been very, very cheap, very small, because the banks were willing to take the risk, and there was no volatility in coffee for a few years. Now we're starting to see volatility, and the marketplace should change very quickly.
Yeah, it can change very, very fast. Dan, I do want to personally thank you. I know you've been out to our facilities out in Nicaragua, and we were able to have what I call some of the luxuries of being in business, or some of the fun of being in business, when you get to go into these foreign countries, and that happened to be a trek into the rainforest. So that was a very, very special time. But I also know that when you're doing what you do and knowing where the coffee regions are, some of these experiences can be quite harrowing. Do you have any experiences like maybe in a Vietnam or a Colombia that you'd care to share about?
In Colombia, because we were one of the biggest buyers, I'm sorry, in Vietnam, we were one of the biggest buyers. When I went the first time, they wanted to have a giant dinner party for me, from all the farmers and the exporters. So I was the host. Little did I know that the dinner they were going to serve me was a giant snake. Only done for special customers or special care. So, and we had snake fried, we had it boiled, we had it fried. But before we had the snake meat, they took the heart out, put it on my plate since I was a guest. And as the heart is beating on my plate, I had to eat it. And I did.
So did it taste like chicken?
No, it tasted like snake heart.
Oh man, I was early into China, so as in a prior business to where I am now, and I definitely had some similar experiences to that. And culturally over there, it would be quite an insult, right, not to enjoy the food.
Exactly.
So you really got to put that smile on your face and suck it down. I didn't eat a beating snake heart, so I'm feeling pretty fortunate right now.
Yeah.
So
we had another dinner one time, And it's this gamey meat I'm eating. And I said to my interpreter, so what is this? He goes, you have it in the United States. I'm eating, it's bony and grizzly. And I kept saying, what is it? He kept saying, you have that in the United States. I said, what's the name of it? He goes, fox. I said, yeah, we have them, but we don't eat them.
All right, and then any harrowing experiences, because these third world countries aren't easy to get to. Getting back into the rainforest in Nicaragua is beautiful once you're there, but let me tell you, it's somewhat of a mission. Have you, been at any crazy experiences as you went to find coffee?
Yeah, one time we were in a small little plane in Guatemala, and we're flying around Guatemala, and it's hot, and there's the air conditioner, of course, and the pilot has the radio super loud. And I asked him, I said, could you turn the radio down? He said, no, because we don't have radar. And when the music cuts out, I have to go higher because I know there's a mountain close.
Are you serious?
True story. It's a true story.
And how did that make you feel?
Keep the radio loud. Keep it loud.
Can you turn up? Can you turn up the radio? We can't hear it back here, would be the moral of that story.
Exactly, yeah.
And I remembered you telling a story when we were in Nicaragua and having a couple of beers one day, and you were talking about being pulled off a plane in Colombia.
Yeah.
What happened there?
So after they made me the CEO, they decided that I should go and see every one of our exporting companies on a personal basis. Great idea. So I flew down to Colombia the first time, spent 2 days in Colombia, a day in Salvador, day in Honduras, day in Guatemala, and then we flew back to Colombia. So, 5 countries, 6 days. Who doesn't do that? I'm on the airplane, ready to fly home from Bogota. All of a sudden, these policemen with machine guns and rifles come on the plane, come up to me, and drag me out of my seat. They brought me to this room. My luggage was on top of a table. And they said, can we go through your luggage, sir? I said, oh my God, there's going to be cocaine in there. I'm going to jail for the rest of my life. This is it. This is it. 1 hour of them searching and searching my clothes and all of that. Fine. They put me back on the plane, and that was the end of that.
And we're going to come back with Dan Dwyer, CEO of Rothfos Corporation, with BRISK'S Best and Brightest.
Antioxidants are essential to protect your cells against the damaging effects of free radicals. Turmeric by Longevity harnesses the power of nature to combat free radicals by delivering a potent boost of antioxidants known for their incredible healing properties. Sourced from certified organic turmeric root, turmeric contains 95% curcuminoids, the active compounds that quash free radicals. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for thousands of years to promote both heart and brain health, as well as its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. We've also included a botanical blend of phytonutrients that include flavonoids, carotenoids, and sulfides. These natural, plant-based chemicals are powerful contributors to overall health and well-being. Turmeric, the organic antioxidant supplement from Longevity, formulated to promote optimal health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
CardioBeats from Longevity supports a healthy cardiovascular system and helps supply the nutrients your body needs to support better physical endurance. Your capacity to last a little longer is largely based on how well your cardiovascular system expends oxygen and circulates blood through your body. CardioBeats helps combat the oxidative stress caused by physical activity by supplying you with key nutrients that support your cardiovascular system. These nutrients have also been shown to help improve endurance. Cardio Beets starts with organic beets, a rich source of nitrates to support healthy blood flow and oxygen transport. We've added whole foods from highly bioavailable seaweed and mango fruit, both known for blood flow support, and antioxidant-rich sweet cherries. Then, for even more heart health benefits, we finished it off with key amino acids. Take your physical endurance to the next level with Cardio Beets. Talk to your Longevity associate for more information.
As you age, the collagen that helps keep your body in optimal physical condition breaks down faster than your body can replace it. But now it's easy to give your body the healthy dose of collagen it needs with Collagen Creamer from Longevity. It's a delicious vanilla-flavored coffee creamer that's packed with 7.5 grams of bovine-sourced collagen peptides. Longevity's Collagen Creamer uses 2 types of collagen to better supply the protein needed to repair and strengthen the connective tissue in your body. It also supports healthy hair, skin, nails, and even bones. We've also formulated Collagen Creamer with MCT, healthy fats that the body is able to absorb and convert into an instant boost of energy. Add it to coffee or one of your other favorite beverages when you need it. Longevity Collagen Creamer. Support for healthy connective tissue and more energy, all in a tasty vanilla-flavored creamer. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Understanding your microbiome can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Stop the COVID-19. Maintain social distancing. The best way to prevent the sickness is to avoid exposure and to avoid exposing other people. Maintain a distance of 6 feet whenever possible and cover your nose and mouth with a handkerchief or mask when in public. Avoid hugs, handshakes, and big reunions as well as events indoors. For more information, please go to floridahealthcovid19.gov. This is a message from Entv USA for the community.
Welcome back to Briskie Business. I'm chatting it up with Dan Dwyer, CEO of Rothfos Corporation, and we've been talking coffee, and what a great show it's been. I'm very excited to bring him back onto the program. Welcome back, Dan, and I got a big question for you. You know this is Brisk's Best and Brightest, and we talked about this off mic, that this is really about mentorship a little bit. We got a lot of folks looking for tips and tidbits of, how to advance their careers, and in this new what I call the new COVID-19 normal, which of course, I don't think any of us, no matter how old we are, have ever prepared for a global pandemic to take place. And, we had all these young people that were starting off in school and getting ready to start their careers. And, they were going to come out this year with so much promise, and then this hit. So do you think, what do you think the younger folks out there coming out of school, what are they going to have to do differently in this economy, do you think?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dave. I mean, we're all remote. We're 35 people in our office. We haven't been in our office since March 17th, and we've had to deal with this new challenge. I see our younger people who have a better skill set in computers than that the 30 to 40-year-old people we have are doing a tremendous job maintaining their workflow on a daily basis and taking on new responsibilities without supervision over their shoulder. So I think that I would say that they're more aggressive in their approach to the daily business than they had been when they were sitting at a desk and figuring that as a team here, everything's fine, everything's good. If 5 people own the problem, nobody owns the problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, and those that are kind of looking for work or worried about, getting a downsize maybe taking place due to the issues and the negative impacts that this has created. What do you think they have to do to set themselves apart to make sure that they're not on that cut list in your mind?
I think they have to take that what's taking now may be extended for a year or so. I don't say that we could do something to bridge the gap. We've hired 3 people since COVID, and they're learning as fast as other employees did when we were in the office. They're accepting this challenge and not taking it as a giant negative, which it is, of course, but they're taking it as a challenge. And they're very, very vocal. They're asking more questions because you have to ask questions. You're not in an office environment. And I see emails at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, answering emails, 10 o'clock at night, still working. So it's no longer a 9-to-5 job. They may not have as much to do in 1 hour, but they're working 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night.
I think that's what it's going to take.
Those hours and taking that.
And that's what it's going to take, right, Dan? I mean, you're just going to have to push that extra mile and make yourself indispensable.
Yes.
So, we
That's
talked a little bit about the millennials and how they help the coffee business along and, their heart for giving. But, I'd like to tackle this here, especially in mentorship. Coffee and sustainability. Those of us that are in the coffee business, sustainability becomes, a really big issue. I'd love your opinion on sustainability. As you know, our coffee's grown up in the rainforest, and I'd like you to maybe talk a little bit about Nicaraguan coffee, but more importantly, sustainability. Okay,
sustainability is something that's been around for now 7 to 8 years. It's a broad subject because what's sustainable in one origin may not be at another origin. Or to the consumer, what do they want as sustainable? Do they want fresh water for towns because coffee could damage it with their bad irrigation? Do they want farmers to be able to increase their yield each year so they have money to put back into the farms and coffee will be here for the next 50 years? And so sustainability, we tried at the association to put a definition of it. It took about 6 months because what's sustainable to one country is not sustainable in another.
Yeah, and you know what? The sustainability of the coffee business is one thing, but then if you want different certified coffees, for example, we have rainforest certification. Yes. Now we're talking about sustainability of the rainforest.
Yes, yeah. The rainforest really took off after the last few years. It's probably, in our portfolio, it's one of the biggest certificated coffees that we sell. I think it's easy for the consumer to understand what the rainforest is all about, to say that we need the rainforest, and the rainforest does a good job in promoting their brand.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
There's some other certificates in the marketplace that I would not say the same.
Yep, you're right, and I think that's one we can get around 2 ways, right? The sustainability of the rainforest and obviously coffee growing. Is coffee, as in terms of the farms that you're seeing out there, is those that are growers, is the growing population shrinking in your mind?
Yeah, the big problem in coffee is, I think, if we look at Colombia, the average coffee farmer is over 50 years old.
Is over how old?
It's not interesting. Over 50 years old, the average coffee farmer.
Wow.
The young people left the farms. They'd rather work, say, in a Nike factory than on the farm. So it's going to be a challenge to make sure that the producers get enough money for their product so the next generation will do the same.
Dan, one of the things that, and I appreciate a great cup of coffee, and I know you do too, but it is, how shocking is it to you how cheap it is for somebody to drink a cup of coffee when you know what it takes to put this coffee in the cup?
Yeah, I mean, coffee, from the farmer to the export, to the middleman, to the roast, to putting in a can, to putting on a shelf, it's got to be the cheapest product on the supermarket shelf.
Yeah, and one of the best, and the demand is so high, and yet price has never really gone, crazy like other things.
No. Now, the problem with coffee, it's always been boom and bust. When you have years of low prices, farmers don't put them down to fertilizer. And then what happens? You have a shortage, and then the market rallies 50% higher than it should be. So the market goes to $3. And then all of a sudden, so everybody grows more coffee, and then the cycle continues. Then we have the bust years.
Yeah, what do you think where's coffee right now, in the $1.20s range?
Yeah, $1.25.
Yeah, so where do you think that sweet spot is for good sustainability from a price point?
I think if we had a majority of the roasters around the world from different origins, it would say right about here, $1.25 of the Central America is okay. It's okay, the cost of production.
Got it. Dan, you've watched the program before, and we talked about gap moments, those moments, you work your butt off. You talked about now guys working to 9 o'clock. You talked about, you have to be up at 4 in the morning, and sometimes it's hard to find a vacation time. What do you do to find joy in your life? What does Dan Dwyer do on that daily basis when it's, so it's not all work, there's actually a little bit of play? What brings you that joy? What do you do?
Well, I used to play ice hockey until I hurt my head. And my wife made me retire. I'm not a golfer. So I bought a house in the mountains of North Carolina. I go there quite often.
And what do you love about that?
I live on Long Island, which was a great place all my life, but it's 4 million people, 90 miles long. I'm here in North Carolina. I live in this area. 100 acres. I have 4 neighbors.
That's perfect.
And 2 of them I have to take my car to.
And you used to be in downtown Manhattan. So that's quite a change.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Dan, we've got maybe just a few seconds. What do you think about Nicaraguan coffee, since that's near and dear to our hearts, and we got lots of shareholders that tune in?
Yeah.
What's your thought on it?
Well, if you take a look at the quality of Nicaraguans, it's one of the biggest buyers of Nicaraguan coffee is Starbucks. So what does that tell you about the origin to begin with, right? It's a very high quality Central American coffee, and it's probably very, very consistent from one farm to the next, which is great for the consumer, great for the roaster, because if you like your Nicaraguan coffee, that can you buy this week will be the same that you buy in 3 months from now.
Yep, and consistency is everything. So we're going to wrap it up here, Dan.
Everything.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. A great show. Thank you again for coming on Briskie Business. I love learning more about coffee, and you're one of the best experts anyone could ever listen to. So we'll wrap it up here. This finishes and concludes our segment of Briskie Business this week. Thank you, Dan Dwyer, CEO, Rothfos.